Happy Mother's Day. I know there are a lot of things we get to be grateful for what our moms did for us when we were little. But this Mother's Day, I invite you to also look in your mind and explore all the great things that your mom did for you as an adult. All the lessons that she's taught you since you've become of age. You know, I think we don't need our moms less when we grow older. We just need them differently. I want to talk to us about the lessons my mom has taught me since I became an adult. And this is the first Sunday I have celebrated Mother's Day without Mom on the planet. So here are the 3 lessons she taught me. No talent, no guilt, and no regrets. The first is when I was 18 years old and told my mom I wanted to move to New York City and become a professional dancer, she looked me right in the eye and said, "But Ken, you don't have any talent." I can laugh at it now, but at the time it actually turned into this opportunity for me to prove Mom wrong. So when I moved to New York, I worked super hard. I was diligent and truly dedicated to becoming someone who could make her proud. And I did. Mom turned into my biggest fan. When she attended my Broadway debut, or when she would come in New Orleans and see me when I was performing in a national tour, she was the ultimate stage mom. And that gift of tenacity and strength really still serves me today. When I was living in New York, one day I got a phone call from Mom in New Orleans, and this was the no guilt part. So she said to me, "Ken, I'm really worried about you. You don't go to church on Sunday." And I said, "But Mom, you don't go either." And she said, "I know, but I feel guilty about it." So we laughed together, and I shared with her my journey to finding a true spirituality for myself. One that wasn't based on obligation or guilt, but one based on devotion and love and celebration. And that's what I found when I found Unity. And today I sit here and talk to you as a Unity minister because of that conversation that Mom sparked. The third is no regrets. When I was visiting Mom while I was in ministerial school, I was visiting home and one of our family members, an extended family member, was in hospice dying. And I was going to visit them. And as I was leaving Mom's house, she said, "They're doing it all wrong." And I looked at her and said, What are you talking about?" She said, "They're doing it all wrong. They're not talking about the important stuff." So I sat down at the table with Mom and I said, "So Mom, if that were you on your deathbed, what would you want us to know? What would you want to talk about?" And she began to cry. And through her tears, she'd say, "I want my kids to know how sorry I am for the things I did wrong and the things that hurt them. I just didn't know any better, and I was doing the best I could." Now, I'm holding her hand, and we're both crying. And I told her that I know that we know that. And then I apologized for all the things I did that were thoughtless and careless and caused her worry and harm, and the words I spoke that were unkind. And we cried together and made sure that everything we needed to say was said. At the end of her life, Mom didn't remember that conversation. She had lost most of her memory. She didn't remember most of anything at all. But I will never forget that conversation. And when Mom passed this year, there was no regrets. I could let go of her with love and compassion and know she was going to a better place and that we were good. So this is the gift that Mom continues to give me this Mother's Day, and the gift that I wanted to share with you. Thank you to all the moms out there. Thank you to my mom in heaven. Thank you to my grandparents, grandmothers in heaven. I am so blessed. Thank you.